Is the National Football League trying to screw the Philadelphia Eagles out of using their best play by banning it? That's what we're talking about on Philadelphia Eagles now, and I'm fired up today because I think this is blasphemous. I think this is ridiculous because this offseason, according to Dean Blandino, head officiating expert on Fox Sports, he said that the NFL is looking into outlawing the Philadelphia Eagles rugby scrum quarterback sneak formation. And this is a play that with Jalen Hurts has worked so well over the last couple of years. And for me, my argument against teams who don't want this play to be legal, who are complaining about this play, how about this? To all the crybaby defenders and crybaby organizations out there, work on stopping the play. The Philadelphia Eagles have done a better job of perfecting this play and having it become more efficient than any other team in the National Football League. So why can't defenses do a better job of stopping the Eagles' rugby scrum and picking up that quarterback sneak, in which pretty much they were undefeated in those conversions all throughout this season? And if you don't want to face the Eagles and their rugby scrum quarterback sneak, why don't you limit them and stop them from getting to a 3rd and short and getting to a 4th and short and playing ahead of the sticks? That's partially why this Eagles offense was so good this past year. The Eagles have perfected the play and are the most efficient quarterback sneak team in the NFL. Why should they get penalized for this? It really doesn't make any sense. And it's not like the Eagles are dirty in doing this. It's not like they're doing anything that's illegal. They have just mastered it. And it's partially due to the personnel on this roster. The Eagles have arguably the best offensive line in the NFL. They get the push against the opposing defensive line. And then their quarterback, who's the one who's pushing the pile, in Jalen Hurts, is a freak athlete that squats about 600 pounds. And some people try to respond to me on Twitter by saying, Jalen Hurts isn't doing anything. He's being pushed from behind. Yeah, he is. But players getting pushed by fellow offensive linemen, by fellow teammates to pick up a first down and move the chains, that has happened for literally every single team in the National Football League. And for Hurts, there aren't many quarterbacks out there who can drive the pile like him because of the work that he puts in to build up the strength that he has in his lower body. And what's funny about this is that Tom Brady, in 2 decades of playing the quarterback position, pretty much undefeated at quarterback sneaks. And the New England Patriots got very creative as far as how they went about that formation. It wasn't an issue with Tom Brady, but now with Jalen Hurts and the Birds, it decides to be an issue by the NFL because they were so dominant in picking up those first downs. Don't hate. The Eagles got creative while other teams got stagnant. The Eagles found ways to pick apart the system and pick apart opposing defenses while other teams didn't do it. This was on tape from game 1. Teams didn't start doing this until the later part of the year. What took them so long? Were they jealous of the Philadelphia Eagles? Probably. And then they realized, shoot, we don't have the personnel. We don't have the quarterback to pick up these short yardage situations. So let's go to the NFL. Let's complain about it. And let's outlaw this play. Here's what Dean Blandino said last week. And it's him just being a fraud. Kind of saying that as a joke. But he said this. I was talking to Denver Broncos head coach Sean Payton during Sunday's Super Bowl, and he said, we're going to do this every time next year if they don't take it out. Fine, do it. I challenge you. It amounts to a rugby scrum, is what Blandino continued by saying. The NFL wants to showcase the athleticism and skill of our athletes. This is just not a skillful play. This is just a tactic that is not an aesthetically pleasing play, and I think the competition committee is going to take a look at it. So, a couple of things here. The NFL wants to showcase athleticism and the skill of our athletes. Are we disregarding all offensive linemen? Are we disregarding how good of an athlete Jason Kelce is? Isaac Seumalo, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson? Do we not want to marvel at those guys with that size being able to push the pile and drive their legs in a really impressive way? By the way, going head-to-head against other guys who are 300, 350 pounds, it's not a skillful play when Jalen Hurts is able to squat 600 pounds, put guys on his back, guys around his feet and still carry them and move the chains for a first down. It's not an aesthetically pleasing play, but we can go fullback dives. We can go I formation. We can go regular quarterback sneak. Come on now. I just don't get it. It is a skillful play because there's a reason other teams don't attempt this. Kirk Cousins would never do it. He sucks on these quarterback sneaks because he has a weak lower body. Patrick Mahomes doesn't even sneak it anymore because he dislocated his knee on the goal line on this type of play. What is the NFL thinking? I'm telling the other teams out there, and I'm telling the NFL, stop the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't get jealous. And if they outlaw this play, they are screwing the Eagles out of one of the more efficient plays that they have in their playbook. So if you're with me, everybody get into the comment section right now. Let me hear you. Type F that down there because I want to see everybody typing those F that's. All right, before we start taking your questions, Philadelphia Eagles now is sponsored by Cultivate. What is Cultivate? A free browser extension that brings transparency to your Amazon shopping experiences. Cultivate shows you the brand, seller, or product origin and identifies local alternatives that support local community efforts while saving you money. With over 50% of Amazon U.S. sellers based in China, Cultivate offers a way to avoid trickery from these sellers and keep money in the U.S. economy. Cultivate offers alternatives that are on average 30% less expensive than Amazon without any additional costs, such as Amazon Prime. It can even identify local alternatives that you can pick up the same day. Cultivate users earn free donations as rewards for using the extension, and the more you use it, the more you earn in donations by increasing your level. In fact, Cultivate donates 51% of the revenue they make on your purchase. So what are you waiting for, Bird Gang? Head to wecultivate.us/chatsports and download the Cultivate extension for free. I have it on my web browser, so too does Trace and Abby, and let Cultivate bring transparency, savings, and community support to your Amazon shopping journey. Support the show. Download it with our link. It's down in the comment section as well as the description of this video. We'll start to answer your questions and your super chats here. $5 coming in from the Passmaster. Chase, it's a debate among chat sports, all with valid points and reasoning. What's your take? Who should it be at cornerback? Witherspoon, Gonzalez, or Porter? Hashtag real one. You really are a real one. The Passmaster watches like all of our live shows. Look, I have a thing in terms of scouting the cornerback position for Joey Porter Jr. I think him and Witherspoon are the top two with Gonzalez being there. I'm afraid that people are so high on Gonzalez just because of his athleticism and his twitchiness. I think that Porter translates to a really good corner in this league because of his physicality and his length. So I think all three are good. I don't think that you can go wrong with either of them. You look at what Porter did in 2022. This dude was a stud, man. 254 coverage snaps, 0 touchdowns allowed, 10 forced incompletions, and a passer rating of 59.1. Really, really good player. Peter Thurman, real one, roll call. If you're a real one, that means that you're subscribed, you love the Birds, and you love Eagles now. Give us a real one down below. John O'Malley, Big John checking in. Who do you think is the leading candidate for defensive coordinator? So Vance Joseph is to the Broncos. Jim Leonard out of the mix. So I'd say that Sean Desai right now is the leader in the clubhouse to be named defensive coordinator. I kind of like Glenn Schumann out of Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs defensive coordinator and inside linebackers coach. He's only 32 years old. I'd also put Denard Wilson in there, the Eagles defensive backs coach, who C.J. Gardner-Johnson told me is the reason why he made that seamless transition from cornerback to safety. Panic at the Disco, do you think Cox will retire or run it back for another year? I don't think that he's going to retire, but I think that the Eagles are going to be in a very difficult situation. Bring back Brandon Graham or bring back Fletcher Cox, and you have to choose between one of those Eagles legends. Because you might bring back Javon Hargrave, and if you do that, I think the writing is on the wall for Cox to go somewhere else. Now, if Cox thinks that he can get paid somewhere else, then go do it, man. Like, extend your NFL career, which is bordering on maybe a Hall of Fame career for nearly a decade. He's been one of the top defensive tackles in the game. If he still wants to play and he can get a payday, go get it somewhere. Like, you know, I don't blame you for leaving. But if he wants to maybe play 1-2 more years and play on a hometown discount, he's earned a lot of money from the Eagles. then come back. I'm okay with that, with him being kind of a rotational defensive tackle at this point. Give more snaps to Jordan Davis. Cool Reigns, our Aussie mate, would you trade a third-round pick for Dalvin Cook? I wouldn't, because he's being paid a lot of money, and I'd rather go Jahmyr Gibbs at number 30, or I'd rather go with a running back at some point in the NFL draft, or even cheaper in free agency. Like, by trading for Dalvin Cook, that then means that you're paying his contract, and I think he's been banged up the last couple of years. I'm not sure with the workload that he's had, how much great football he has left. Good player, though, when he's been right. Busch Gardens fandom. Busch Gardens, good spot. What will the Eagles do in the NFL draft? Look, I think at 10 and 30, it's going to be a combination of a couple of things. It could be offensive tackle. It could be defensive end, defensive tackle, cornerback, maybe safety. I think all those positions are in play in the first round. Elsewhere, Eagles always like to build up that offensive line. They could go after a safety, maybe a developmental type. They could go after another wide receiver for a guy to be wide receiver 3. They could go after another tight end. They could go running back. All of those areas wouldn't surprise me one bit. The options are certainly open. John O'Malley, do you think we should go after Rex Ryan as our defensive coordinator? It's very interesting because I wouldn't hate bringing in a veteran defensive coordinator, but as of right now, the oldest DC candidate that the Eagles have hired is Vance Joseph at 50. Other than that, everybody's in their early 40s or in their 30s. Like Glenn Schumann out of Georgia, he's 32 years old. But Sirianni had a lot of luck with hiring Jonathan Gannon as well as Shane Steichen. They were younger. He's younger. He knows a lot of young coaches across the NFL. But with a guy like Rex Ryan, I think that he could be a very, very good defensive coordinator. It'd be a cool story for him coming back to Philadelphia where he grew up under his dad, Buddy Ryan, and having a veteran against a team like the Kansas City Chiefs and all the experience that he's had, he might be able to make the adjustments that Jonathan Gannon never did. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because whenever a big move happens, for the Birds, we're going to cover it right here on the show. So hit that sub button and join the Fly Eagles Fly family here at Chat Sports.